Kennedy trusts Trump. Watch how that goes. The past decade has shown how celebrity and money can promote harmful, baseless worldviews. These theories have always been around, but the internet or social media have helped them find pockets of support that can snowball into movements with a little cash or fame. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., son of the most renowned American politician, dropped his independent run for president on Friday afternoon and endorsed Donald Trump. After attracting a large number of cameras and reporters for one of the few times during his campaign, he rained bizarre claims and false assertions on them, indirectly reinforcing that even his limited success was rooted in his last name rather than his commitment to reality. We'll let fact-checkers do their job, which has rarely been more thankless. In part because this publication has discredited much of what Kennedy asserted. However, this narrative has a small misrepresentation. Kennedy withdrew and endorsed Trump, telling blue state voters to vote for him and maybe putting him in the presidency. Although it made little sense, it fit the speech. There was one Kennedy point that deserves praise. He was willing to, endorse Trump because he anticipated the Republican would work with Kennedy to address Kennedy's pet causes if elected. Apparently, President Trump wants addressing chronic disease by persuading kids to eat better to be his legacy, Kennedy stated. I'm choosing to trust he will follow through. Self-awareness is present. Someone who is confident in another's reliability doesn't say we'll see. Trump's limited trust seems misplaced. First off, Donald Trump has never stated chronic disease in this context. To think Trump cares is one thing. It takes incredible credulity to believe that Trump wants chronic disease to define his presidency. Given that Robert Kennedy supports previous incorrect assertions, he is inclined to ignore the evidence in favor of his own beliefs. Overlooking AU.S. Mexico border height wall shows a different Trump. Second, there's little reason to trust Trump as a whole. Video of Kennedy taking Trump's call leaked last month. Kennedy and Trump talk on speakerphone, letting spectators hear both viewpoints. Trump clearly tells Kennedy what he needs to hear to get the outcome, basically, of Friday. According to reporters who have spoken with Trump on the phone, like me, he alternates between wheedling and cajoling. In support of Trump, the ex-candidate cited free speech, the conflict in Ukraine and the attack on our children. Kennedy repeated a Russia-friendly view of the conflict before expressing his confidence in the former president's candor. President Trump says that he will reopen negotiations with President Putin and stop the war overnight as soon as he becomes president, Kennedy told reporters. This alone would justify my support for his campaign. That needs little explanation. If you think Trump can end the war overnight by pure force of will, even if it means capitulation to Russia, you're giving him too much credit. From the start, Trump has made grand promises, especially when he can't deliver. If those promises fail, almost always, they are rewritten until Trump wins. It doesn't take much study of the world to see how this has worked, but Kennedy's public profile is not one of adaptability. It's unclear how Kennedy's support for Trump helps the former president. Since he was polling in the low single digits and third-party voters are generally just loosely committed to voting, it's unlikely to achieve much. Another perspective is worth examining. Donald Trump is partly responsible for Kennedy's words and actions. Trump supporters who are afraid of a senior administration official who opposes immunizations may also be less likely to vote. Another issue, if Kennedy hauls roadkill around New York State, Trump will be asked to comment on his star backer. Trump's pals on Project 2025 may entice him to disavow Kennedy. Will he stop? If he doesn't, will Kennedy realize he's been duped, as he seems to suspect and many predict?